So, as you know, I have release day coming up, and I thought it might be of interest to, instead of my traditional pre-release thoughts, to do like a pre-release vlog starting today, maybe finishing today. I don't know, but right now I'm about to get a good workout in just to start things off, get the brain flowing. Maybe we'll see. All right, I'm out. Got my booty kicked and my workout. Weighed myself. I'm down another pound from my last weigh-in, not from the last time I talked to y'all about my weight. But what am I about to do? I want some Crocs. I want some Crocs, and so I'm about to go see if I can find some in stock somewhere in my city. And I think, what else am I gonna do? I might pop in Target, might pop in TJ Maxx. I kind of want to go to Trader Joe's, but it's raining and I don't feel like driving to Little Rock in the rain, so I'm not gonna do that. I do need to go to the grocery store though. I think that my family is about to start eating organic. I've already started buying organic eggs because we just eat a lot of eggs. I need some cheese, so I do need to go to the grocery store. Oh, is this FedEx? Is this mine? Hold please. It was FedEx, but he didn't stop at my house. I have a package coming. Actually, I think UPS is delivering my package anyway, so. But I have a package coming. I'll show y'all what's in it if I get it. But for now, yeah, I'm gonna start out with the Crocs. I know for sure that I want those. So I'm gonna start there and then see what happens. So I'm in here looking at the Crocs, but I don't know what color. Thinking maybe the yellow. There's an orange too. Now, why y'all let me walk in that place with no mask on? I'm in there wondering why does my face feel so weird? Well, it's because I am raw dogging the air. But anyway, y'all want to see what color I got? I ended up phoning or texting a friend to get. I'm very easily influenced, but I will say these are the ones that I was leaning toward anyway. But I got the yellow. The color is banana. Isn't that, they're so cute. And my kids have plenty of gibbets. I've ordered a bunch of those, and so I should be able to take some from the kids to decorate mine. But I will say, if you're in the market for Crocs, if you've got a shoe carnival local, because when my kids, I got them Crocs for Christmas, and I paid $33 for my Crocs today. Now I did have a $10 reward because I brought them in here a few weeks ago because they needed new sneakers, and I brought them in here to get their sneakers. But even okay, it was a $10 reward, so let's say I spent $43. That's still like $20 a pair cheaper than I got their Crocs around Christmas time, and I had to buy 2 pairs of them. They did get the patterned ones, and I think the patterned ones were more expensive than like the solid colors, so maybe that's what the difference is. But they were on sale. They were definitely on sale, so that was part of it too. So if you're in the market for Crocs, I had me slipping this time. Yes, y'all, I'm blaming y'all. I'm putting my mask on so I can pop into the grocery store. I have actually decided that after I go to the grocery store, I'm taking my butt home because first of all, it's raining and I don't really like being out like that. I don't like driving in rain like that. Second of all, I need to finish. I've got some stuff to finish up because I need to get this book to my patrons tonight. Like I want patrons to have early access, and I want it to be significant early access. And so if I want that, I've got to get that book to them tonight, and I've got stuff that I need to finish up. So I'm about to, like I said, I'm about to pop in the grocery store, and then I'm going home to write. I also have not eaten, even though I worked out. Like, I'm wilding, and I can't be doing that. So let me Let me get my shit together. All right. All right. So I'm back. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir, because I am part hella crooked. I'm within the lines, but I'm very crooked in my parking spot. I am about to clean my hands so that I can eat my sushi on the way home. I've also decided that I think I want Starbucks. I think I want Starbucks. Not coffee. I've already had coffee today. I think I'll get a matcha. But I've got to look up, what's y'all be getting? What did the girlies be getting? Because there was something that all y'all had said on TikTok. Have I tried it before? I feel like I've tried the matcha that the girlies on TikTok said. Please don't hit me. This is a really pretty truck. This is my sushi. I got Cajun roll, the little fake crab salad, shrimp, cucumber, spicy mayo. I have to be careful when I'm getting these because sometimes these will have sometimes they'll have cream cheese in them. I can't eat cream cheese, but anyway, I'm about to eat my little sushi and look up what I'm supposed to get in my matcha at Starbucks because I'm feeling a little try something newish. I could have gone to Starbucks in here, and I started to, but I was like, but if I go to Starbucks, I'll have to take my mask off. And if I'm gonna get the drink on my way out, I may as well get it at my normal Starbucks. But yeah, so that was basically it. Like if I'm gonna get it on the way in, I have to put my mask down, and I don't want to do that in Kroger because none of these folks is wearing masks anymore. And on the way out, it's like I may as well go to my normal Starbucks. So that's what I'm gonna do. I actually have a gift card to that Starbucks. Where is my gift card to that Starbucks? I never go through line, but I don't feel like getting out of the car, so I'm going to drive through today. I'm not gonna order ahead, but let me go on so I can get out of the spot before somebody hit me. I went the wrong way. I went the wrong way, and so to go to Starbucks still, I would have to drive past my house. Like I'm literally like 2 minutes away from home. I would have to drive like 5 minutes out of my way, which I don't think I'm about to do. I've got the ingredients to make a matcha or a chai at my house, but I don't feel like it. So I think I have a kombucha though. I don't need any more caffeine anyway. I don't need any more caffeine anyway. And it's like it's starting to rain harder. It's starting to rain harder, and I'm going home. All right, so I'm about 90% done reading the book, but I've got to go pick up kids. But I just had my deliveries from Target. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember exactly what I ordered. Oh, this is the coffee. I ordered from Chicago French press, available on the Target website, Black Lux. I think this is supposed to be a Black-owned company. Chicago French Press and Mr. Suitable have partnered to create the perfect blend. I have to look again. I'm looking, but I feel like I ordered it because it was supposed to be black owned. But it was, I never did check out, And so it was still in my cart from like a while back when I added something else to the cart to check out with. So I actually don't even remember like exactly what I had read about it that made me go for it. Oh, this is an art piece from one of the black artists, Chantel Marlowe. For this one, but this is the piece. Can you see that? Is it too bright? But this is the piece, and it's another one that's gonna go somewhere in the new house. I'm just gonna put it with my stack of other stuff that I got that is just waiting for the new house. All right, so got my got my matcha chai, whatever to call it, and it's okay. I still need to try the one from Starbucks. I'll try it tomorrow. But now I have got to go get in the pickup line to pick up the kids while I'm sitting there waiting, because you got to get in early to get a good spot. And I need a good spot because if I have a good spot, it means I get to pick up my kid a little earlier, which means that I can get across town to pick up the other kid at a reasonable time. But anyway, while I'm sitting in line waiting, I am going to finish my read through. Hey, hi. So, this is probably going to be the last scene of the vlog, and this is going to be me actually doing, like for real, doing the pre-release thoughts. So, I'm just going to get right into it. Y'all know I always have trouble with my endings, and this book was no different. There is always kind of that part of me that questions it. You know, like, am I doing this in a way that's going to be satisfying for the reader? You know, is it going to leave them with that good feeling? Are they going to want more, but in a bad way? And what I mean by that is I often get complaints about the way I end my books. I often hear, you know, I wanted more. I wish this wasn't so short. But what I've discovered over years of kind of really dissecting those complaints is that often the complaint really isn't that I've done anything wrong. The complaint is that they want to keep reading, you know? And so, although for the reader, you know, it feels like a negative, like, why is this ending so soon? Why is this already over? I want more. That's not exactly always a failing of the author. But it's just kind of being able to, like, balancing out the difference between, man, I really wanted more of this, and man, this really didn't, you know, like, this really didn't close the story. Like, this really didn't answer the questions, you know. And I don't mean answer every single teeny tiny question that you might have, but like the big questions of this story that were introduced, those need to be answered and those need to be closed. And so I always kind of struggle a little bit with that. But as usual, you know, I do feel like I was able to, you know, pull it together in a satisfying way, pull it together into a good closing point. I'm expecting to get some complaints about the place that I leave the couple in, because I always get complaints about where I leave the couple. But as usual, I'm very happy with where I'm leaving the couple. I feel like I'm leaving them exactly where they need to be. And so, you know, that's kind of, as an author, that's really what I have to lean into. And this is year 9. This is year 9 of writing and publishing. So at this point, you know, if I can't feel certain, you know, if I can't come to the end of it and feel certain, you know, I just don't even know. one of the things that has persistently bothered me throughout, the entire writing of this, through both books, is that this is really not what I had in mind for the Predators books, or this is not really what I wanted the Predators books to be. Like, I had no intention of writing, thriller, suspense, assassins, and all of that. Like, that was really not in my plan, and yet that's the story that came about, and so I accepted it as it was, because that's what we do. That's how I've been able to get to year 9. It's just kind of taking the couples as they are and writing what they give me. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't like a little disappointed that I didn't get to write kind of the fun, sexy, gritty kind of thing that I wanted to write. And not that it's too late, I could always, maybe other books within this series, or maybe, we follow the Predators, but it's made clear that, these 2 books stand alone, and, this other series is something else, because we've introduced a lot of characters, a lot of really rich backdrop that I can potentially draw from if I decide to come back. So yeah, it's really not the end of the world, but you know, we all have our we all have our things that I guess kind of bother us as authors. And again, like I don't mean that to make it sound like I have regrets about writing Onyx and Tati, because I don't. But again, it's just not what when I introduced the Predators in maybe one more time, it was just not at all what I thought it was going to be. With that said, is this going to be the end of, like, for real, the end of the garden, the end of the roses, the end of the thorns, etc., etc., etc.? I do not believe so. There is one name that I that I already know I'm gonna, be getting asked about a book from her, because my betas, like pretty much all of my betas, and my friends are like, "Where's the book for that one?" So I can't say for sure that there will not be, but I also can't say for sure that there will be. But I definitely have more in mind, but I don't, I don't know if they're going to be in the vein of any of the other stories that I've done so far. And so it may be a thing of needing to introduce a new series. Who knows? Which brings me to, another thing, just dealing with them, like the Roses and Thorns series, like that is just by virtue of what they were turned into, what their backdrop, like what their background is. We're dealing with really damaged people. We're dealing with really damaged people, varying degrees of trauma, varying degrees of, I don't want to use the word sanity, but that might really be it, thinking about this one particular person. But like, we're really dealing with really damaged people, like varying degrees of trauma, varying degrees of healing, varying degrees of like social integration, or like just the ability to even have, a romantic relationship that is not just completely toxic. And I'm really having to wrap my mind around the fact that it can be toxic. That doesn't mean that I can't write it. Like, it doesn't actually have to be healthy for me to write it, even though that is kind of what I like to tend toward. That's not everybody's story, and so I have to be open to that. But when you're going into that, I feel a need to be very careful in how I approach, because I do not want to be offensive. I do not want to be purposefully triggering. I just I never want to present these things that people are going through, like that are actually really real things that people go through. Maybe, you know, what I'm doing with it may be fictionalized and sensationalized, but human trafficking is real, sex trafficking is real, like that. Those are real things that people are going through. And in the event that someone does, you know, see the trigger warning and decide to move forward, or maybe, you know, just because they've been through that, it's not necessarily triggering for them. I still don't want it to be a thing of, I still want them to come away from it feeling well taken care of, feeling like the parts of their identity that resonate with what I put down on the page are not the butt of the joke, you know. And so I try to be really careful when I'm doing stuff like that, that I'm not just doing it for the sake of shock value, or, you know, like just for a cheap thrill, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I have more respect for people's traumas and for people's lived experience than that. And so I don't like to be willy-nilly with it, you know. And so that's just something that I have to consider, you know, when I'm stepping in to place with these people. And I go to therapy, and I see the value in it, even just for me, who has not been through a lot of these things. And so I know, you know, that any and everybody can benefit from it. And so, you know, that's something that I like to recommend for my characters, you know, in a very in-depth way sometimes. And then maybe it's just kind of on the fringes, maybe it's just mentioned, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't know, like, I guess we just gotta get into it and see. So with all that said, that's really the most that I can say without getting into spoilers. And I don't want to spoil a thing. I have finished my read through. Thank goodness. Thank goodness that I have not felt the need to just say, stop the presses and do a rewrite. There has been no there's been no feeling of that. I have added, you know, a few, you know, made a couple of adjustments here and there, added a few things that will not be in the hardcovers, because I've already ordered the hardcovers. But I know that most people, you know, most people are getting that, you know, to display on their shelf. They're not really getting it to read. But newer versions outside of the first set that I have, newer versions will have, you know, the updated content. But it's nothing major. It's really just me. I think I'd rather use a different word there. You know, it's mostly stuff like that. But I do want to mention, if you did not catch it in the last video where I was talking about this book, I do want to mention that this book is shorter than No Longer Afraid. I don't want to use the word significant, because I feel like that makes it seem like something it's not. It is still a full-length book, but No Longer Afraid was a long full-length book. This one is just full length. But we absolutely get a complete story. I mentioned it in the other video where there's actually, to me, a lot more stuff happening in this book. And so just because the book is shorter does not mean you get any less content, does not mean there's any less value contained in these pages. But you will not be paying, you know, when I calculate my price points, I do factor length into that. And so, you know, we'll be at a different price point than No Longer Afraid was, which, you know, to reflect the shorter length. It will be exclusively on the CCJ Romance site for probably a couple of weeks, like, you know, in the same way that No Longer Afraid was. We'll do the same thing exclusively there. The No Longer Afraid audiobook is out. It is exclusively on my site. I'll be uploading that to Audible and ACX this weekend. They normally take a week or two, so probably by mid-May, the No Longer Afraid audiobook should be out. I am on the narrator's schedule for Raised by Wolves, but it's not being recorded yet. It will not be recorded until June. And so if you are someone who, you know, you don't want to wait, you know, you may want to consider picking up like an ebook copy or a physical copy, or, you know, just be mindful, you know, just be mindful. No Longer Afraid ends on a cliffhanger. Raised by Wolves is the continuation and resolution of the story introduced in No Longer Afraid. I'm trying to think if there is anything else. This has been a journey. This has really been a journey, especially considering that I started this last year and I was not able to put it in one book. All things considered, if I had done one book, it would be pushing what 150 160,000 words, which is, I won't call it nuts, out of respect to my fellow authors who regularly write that, and that's what all their titles are. But it is not my jam. Like, it's not my thing to write that long, and that's why it was split into two books. And this is exactly what I was worried about when I decided, okay, where is this one going to end? I was concerned, like, am I going to have enough content for it to make sense that this was a second book? And I definitely had enough content for that, but I found myself kind of early on in the process, and even kind of towards the middle, and honestly kind of towards the end, trying to think of, okay, what can I add? What can I do, so that it's not such a difference in length. And then I was like, girl, no, that's not what we're gonna do. Like, we're not gonna add stuff, and I mean, don't get me wrong. When I say add stuff, it would have been things that were relevant to the story. It would have been, things that pushed it forward and all of that. I would have made sure of that, but I would have only been adding more to the story for the sake of making it longer. And y'all know how I feel about that. That's not my ministry. I don't do that. I don't. We're not going. But anyway, here we are at the end. Here we are, with the resolution of the story, with the completion of the story. And I'm really proud of what I've been able to do with it. I remember when Deuces Wild came out, which, this story very heavily connects to the events of Deuces Wild. If you did not read, when I warned you before No Longer Afraid that you should read Deuces Wild, if you did not read it then, I really, you don't have to, but I really think it would make it an even richer experience if you did read Deuces Wild, in order to just kind of make some of the connections and bridge some gaps between some things that happen in that book versus things that happen in this book. I remember being disappointed with the reception that I got. And I get it, because it's not contemporary romance. Like, it's not straight up contemporary romance. You have all these other elements that a lot of people, it's not really their thing. That's not what they signed up for. That's not what they wanted to do. And I understand that, but I remember feeling like I wish more of my readers trusted me to just go along on the journey with me. I wish that we could just, just rock with me. Just come with me. And I got comments about, well, this is biting off of this and this is biting off of that. And it would be comments about stuff that I'd never even seen before, like content that I had never consumed before. How could I be biting off of? But anyway, that's a whole other thing. But I just remember, like I said, like all those disappointments. And then I reread it, for this book. And I feel blown away by what I did. And that is just one of those things that it makes it all worth it. And it just lets me know, or it gives me kind of the bolstering to not be so worried or not be so consumed by, well, what is the audience going to think about this, and what is the audience going to think about that? Not that the audience is not important, because obviously the audience is important, but that can't be the be all end all, especially when I'm looking back at my career, which is, coming up very soon on 10 years. Like, I have to be able to be proud of what I've done, even if everybody didn't feel me when I did it. You know what I mean? But anyway, my kids are getting loud. So I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. I've got hair to braid, dinner to cook, a synopsis to write, a book to format, because I've got to format this before I can send it, before I can get it to my patrons. So I've got things to do. At the time of you seeing this, the book will not be available yet. The book is not going to be available to the public for public consumption until Friday. If I'm feeling froggy, it might be like late Thursday night again. If I'm feeling froggy, which I don't anticipate, but just in case there's it's a possibility. I'm just saying that the possibility is there. But anyway, as always, thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Thank you for your support of this channel, and I'll holla. Bye.